it's ancient, too far from home to break down the meaning of the wave. Said hello, regain my calm, I need to regain my calm demeanor. A fruitless gem beneath the cobblestones. Take a breather. Make myself believe that I will not write a bubblegum pop song for a boy that's hiding. Knows he's the shit. I can't get enough of it. My heart's saying hell no. But then I turn on the radio and I imagine your hand slide. Do I go and take this for you? Glance who needs it, the words that dance around your makeshift guitar, definitely not a pro. I learned from details, so I made a chart to tell if this would be good for me. Take a breather. Make myself believe that I will not write a bubblegum pop song for a boy that's hiding. Knows he's the shit. I can't get enough of it. My heart's saying hell no. But then I turn on the radio and I imagine your hand slide. Do I go and take this for you?
Welcome to LI on the Rise. This is all about people who are chasing their dreams. And today I'm with an indie pop artist. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Arieliza. I'm a singer-songwriter from Car Place, Long Island.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad you came on. I was excited to do this.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. No one has ever
You
asked
are
me.
welcome. I'm very concerned. Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I went for a walk outside and then it got really hot and I started sweating and I came immediately back. But yeah, I'm here now.
Awesome. You got the air conditioning on in the room?
Oh yeah, it's like the first day of the year, so that's kind of like a remember. I feel like this is a very special day on Long Island. I bet everyone's feeling the same thing too. It's pretty hot out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody turn on your air conditioning.
Right now, do it. Pause the podcast.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
All right, so let's jump right into the music. So you have a song called TEA.
Ah, yes.
And the first line in that song is, I'm not chasing, I'm attracting.
Hmm.
You have a lot of people asking you out on dates?
Oh my God. First question. No, I actually have a boyfriend. But I used to. This song I actually wrote about my friend from college who's like super into like she's like you know like the Instagram thing was like how to become that girl. And it's like being that girl. It's like their workouts in the morning and their coffee and like manifesting and stuff like that. So she's super into all of that. And I just think it's hysterical. So I wrote this song. It was part of a larger album about each song was dedicated to one of my friends. So this is her song. She's just a crazy spirit. So this song kind of like tries to encapsulate like her like just not giving a shit and just kind of putting herself out there.
All right. So that's actually interesting that you took that route because a lot of artists write about their life and their experiences.
Yeah, this album was all about that. So it was called Binchy Heads, which was like our group chat name. I had like so many people ask me like, what the hell does that mean? And I was like, well, it's also, am I allowed to curse on this? Sorry, I already.
Absolutely. I don't give a shit.
Oh, thank you. I just like, you're from Long Island. I was like, I just want to check. Like sometimes I've had people be like, we're gonna have to edit that, and I was like, lo siento, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely not. My big thing is like I want everyone to be their authentic selves. So it's like if
Like,
you're a
yeah,
person
driver.
that's welcome here.
Okay, thank you. I feel so safe. So yeah, this last album was called Binchy Heads. It was 10 songs about I feel like COVID really, you found like your group got smaller during COVID. I feel like just obviously for practical reasons. And I lived with 10 of my best friends in college, and we spent every waking, did homework together, ate together, worked out together, because everything kind of had to be in our living space. Like we weren't really going out much. We weren't, going out to eat or like going to the gym. Everything was kind of condensed in one space. So we were living on top of each other. So I got to know them really well. And luckily we all got along. Like there was no drama. That would have been really hard if there was, because we were, you know, very, very close quarters. But yeah, it was really one of the best like experiences of my life with my friends. I've never felt closer to them, and I wanted to know them outside of like just friendly buddy stuff. I wanted to like really get to know them like personally and their past and stuff like that. And without drilling them, I thought that this project would be like a great way for me to get to know them more. So just like would interview similar to what you're doing, like interview my friends, but like not really, like super casual like this is. And we'd have like a glass of wine, or like we'd be like doing our hair, like hanging out just as like girls and just having fun. So this album was really special to me. So I wanted to kind of like, I was inspired by Folklore by Taylor Swift, the album that saved everyone's COVID experience. Like I think that album is just so, I think that album is going to be one of the greats forever. It just like takes on all these different personas, and I was like, well, what if I do that? Because all the songs I'd written in the past were just about me, and I was like, this is like a whole new potential that I haven't like tapped into yet. So I had a really great time doing that album, and since then I've been trying to write songs about other people that I see on the train, or like, like be like that girl at the grocery store who's like, what's going on here? Like you see like a couple fighting and you're like, ooh, like song. So yeah, stuff like that has kind of been a new world that I've been exploring with songwriting.
Looking at your Instagram bio and on your website, you describe yourself as the girl next door trying to keep her shit together.
Mhm.
Why do you describe yourself as that?
Yeah, I feel like that. Well, okay, so this is like super personal, but for me in high school, I was very much like very shy, very quiet. I was salutatorian in my high school. I was really smart. I mean, I'm still smart. I still really enjoy doing stuff like that. But I kind of like let myself out of my shell in college, and I don't mean like I went batshit crazy or anything. I just like really like was like I'm enough. Like I used to be so insecure and like just very like girl next door, not not to put a bad light on that because there's nothing wrong with that, but I just was so like tied up, like prissy, like perfectionist, like all that stuff. And then I kind of just let that go. And I think having music like really helped me do that, because you can't be like this when you're trying to create and you're trying to share things. Like you're not, what do you have to share if you're like this, right? You have to be like this to share, right? You have to be open. So I tried to like kind of incorporate that, and I still struggle with that a lot, and as I'm sure many people do. But I feel like I like to be very vulnerable in my songs, so like I do still feel like I'm very much the girl next door. uh and I'm also like, whenever people are like, what's your brand, like what's your image, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just a person who, and this sounds cliche when I say it out loud, but I'm like, I'm just a person who really likes music and who just wants to share a lot of stories that I have in my heart. And like that to me is like the girl next door. Like it's just someone that you wouldn't expect, who's just like down to earth and just like sharing something with you, and trying to keep her shit together. None of my songs are like super happy. I mean, I'm a very happy person, which is ironic because I write really sad songs, and I'm trying to like write differently, and but like that's usually the emotion that I feel the strongest musically inclined to sing. I don't know why. Maybe I need to unpack that myself. But it's just like I feel very happy, but it's just like I think that that is like the way that I can be vulnerable, is like because being a perfectionist all the time, it is also like there are times when you're not perfect, and that's okay. So that's why I like to say keep my shit together, because like it's a struggle. Sometimes you really got to get on yourself sometimes to keep it together. All of a sudden, like we're in a pandemic. No thanks. I'm not going to spend time being insecure. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it made the pandemic hopefully made people focus on like what is important and what matters. And you know what I mean? When you think the world is crumbling, you're not gonna think about,
Right. Does
oh,
my
I'm
hair look okay? Did I say the wrong thing? Nobody
yeah.
cares. We're just trying to stay alive. Yeah, it's insane that we've gotten to that point in the world, but hopefully I feel it's, it's on the outs, hopefully. I don't have wood, but we'll knock on my head. Just trying to, you know, get back to whatever normal is gonna look like in the next couple of years.
Yeah, who the hell knows in this crazy world?
Who knows? I'm just rolling with it. Listen, people, you gotta keep people safe. That's the number one priority. So whatever we gotta do,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm like, I'm not the one making the decision. I'm not qualified, so I'll follow the people who are and try to have as much fun as I can in the meantime.
Yeah,
Like, what else are you
literally,
supposed to say? What else are you supposed to do, right? It's like
you just go with the flow.
go with the flow.
Like literally, yesterday or a couple days ago, I saw because like Google will give me like random news, and it's like in your area, cases of COVID went up 100%, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like
100%.
I'm just so I swear to God, I'm just so numb to it. I'm
Not
like, oh,
a
all
hundred
right,
percent. Oh no, that's not good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I mean, I'm always in the city and stuff like that. It's like just do what you feel comfortable doing, what others feel safe, you know. You just gotta take it by day by day.
I want to jump into your song Bubblegum Pop.
Hmm.
So in the beginning of the music video, someone shoves a pie in your face. And another thing I noticed is there's someone playing guitar for tips, and you run over to them and you steal the money.
Yes. I like to keep things super silly and not like get super bogged down in like seriousness with music. So yeah, I like those were like super in the moment things. I was like, oh, it'd be funny if we tried it and then we tried it and look good. The pie thing was like amazing for me because I'm actually have type 1 diabetes, so I don't really ever eat pie. So like when he was rubbing it, obviously like I like got to lick some of it and I was like, "Oh my God, sugar rush," because like I've never like obviously I have pie occasionally, but like not like what the normal person would have. So that part was just fun for me. But yeah, my he was the guy in the video was actually one of my friends from college. He's a musician himself. Song wasn't written about him or anything, but we were really close friends and he was in the video, which made it really special to, kind of share that with someone that I'm really close friends with.
Who was the song about?
Just like it was honestly the whole song was like a self roast about like falling for like these stupid musicians who like are in their mom's backyard and you think they're on top of the world and they treat you like shit because they think they're like rock stars. It was like kind of that kind of like self roast about me. Just like past, basically most of the people that I've had past relationships.
Is there more interesting music videos
Yeah,
for the
I am.
future?
I'm really hoping for. I'm searching for a team right now. I have a few songs that I think would be great for a music video. So just kind of like researching and trying to like plan things out. But yes, hopefully soon.
Very cool. Everyone tune in, keep an eye out because
Yes.
the songs are good and the video's entertaining. So
Yeah, and if you know anyone who's good at photography or videography or anything like that, definitely hit me up and let me know.
you write about some like very real and mature topics.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. And I want to give some examples for people who haven't heard your stuff. So like you have a song What is Real? And it's basically talking about that people have their own perspectives, we all think different, we all see the world different. You have a song called Broken. You say you love me but I'm still broken. You have a song called Self. You say I'm working on myself, some ups and some downs. It's okay, I got time to get right.
Mhm.
So what makes you want to put these topics in your music, like these
Yeah.
vulnerable topics?
I think like going back to what you're talking before is like whole girl next door trying to get her shit together. Like that's just like who I am as a person. Like all my friends will say that about me and just very like this is cliche, but like it's so unfortunate that you have to say that now in society because there are a lot of people who aren't real. So like it's unfortunate that you have to say that you are real, but I do feel that I'm like one of the people who are very genuine and I think that I don't know how to be anything else. Like I'm not trying to like toot my own horn here, but like that with music I do feel like that comes out, naturally because that's just who I am and like what I like to share is like what's the point of like manufacturing something so special as music? Like I think that music is the best when it comes so naturally and is like saying something that's like what is the alternative? Like you can't like you're gonna create fake music that's not about anything. Like, like I know there's like a whole pop genre that's just about like dancing and clubbing and house music and stuff, and that's great, but I also feel like in a way like there's more to those songs than what we hear. Like I do think like a lot of those upbeat songs like actually do have real deep things behind them sometimes that we just kind of like go over our ears because you hear them in the club and you're like three drinks in and you're like, "Oh yeah, I love this song." But I do think that like most music is really about like really deep shit, and I like to not be an exception to that. I like to talk about things that are on my mind, whether that's good or bad, and we're living through a really hard time, so I feel like this is the time to be open about it. Like one thing that I notice is if you ask someone, like this is so weird, I don't know if you notice this too, but if you ask somebody like how they're doing, like nowadays, they don't usually say, how like you used to be polite and be like, "Oh, I'm okay, how are you?" Like, "I'm good." And you even if you were like had a really bad day, you just do like a one learned, "Good, how are you?" Move on. I feel like now people are literally like, I'm terrible. My day was shit," and then they'll go on like a 10-minute rant. And like I don't wish that anyone's day was terrible, but what I do like about that, and something I do think is good that maybe we should can try to incorporate in other aspects of society is that like they're giving you a real answer. They're not doing well today. They had a shitty day, right? Like it's COVID. Like we're living through a pandemic. That's strike one, right? We got like a very unfortunate war that it's very hard to feel like you can help in any way, right? Like there's so many things where the economy shit, like everything just piling, right? So it's like people being honest that like it's not good times, right? And like hopefully I hope that people will be honest when it is good times too, and and like sharing the happiness of that. But I think that that's kind of like the beauty of music is that it like facilitates that kind of like dialogue.
You need your own podcast
I do. Oh my
right
God, everyone
now.
told me that. I was thinking of one. So something I tried to do on Instagram was like I tried to do like a wine and harmony thing, but it ended up like I don't even know because like I don't even like wine. So it's like why am I doing this? Like I don't really drink wine. I don't like the taste of wine. Like I drink other things, but I don't really like wine. So it's like, but the other drink and harmonies, like I feel like it had to be wine and harmonies for the podcast. Like that's a good title. But I was like, so I stopped. But yeah, I guess it's a time thing. But I mean, I would love to be on a podcast.
If you had your own show, I'd be tuning in.
I should. I should. What should I call it though? Like, what it could be like mermaid something, because my name's Ariel. I was like, I'm trying to think of like creative stuff. We'll see. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
It's coming. It is in your
It's
future.
like comic. Everyone watch out.
Like the music will pop, and then you'll go into other roads and do
Perfect.
other
See,
things.
that's the dream. So
Okay, I've seen in your SoundCloud bio, it says original music by you and your mom.
yes. So my
So,
mom is, yeah, her name is Beth and she co-writes with me. Speaking of Broken, she produced that one. She produces a lot of them. We kind of like we're sitting there, working together. But she does a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff with that. She was part of the music video. Um, yeah, we do a lot of stuff together. It's fun. It's great. It's like it's my mom and someone I trust. And we also have like an open relationship too with like talking about things that maybe you wouldn't talk about your mom just because we are songwriting, so like things like with love and and stuff like that, that's like it helps us become closer mother daughter, I think, to like have it be open because like I mean songs are always about strong emotions, right? And you think of like what does cause strong emotions, a lot of it is love and a lot of it is like stuff like that it's hard to have like a boundaries up with someone and co-write a song like that. Like you kind of got to be like, all right, here's the tea, like this is what happened, let's write a song about it, and then you go from there. But yeah, I've been really lucky. We write like in our pajamas, I'm like one thing that we've been trying to do is like separate mother daughter more from artist co-writer, but whatever. I guess she's also an artist, so artist and artist, right? So like she like has this hat that she puts on when she's like in work mode, and I have like these Elton John glasses that I put on. They're like pink obnoxious, the huge Elton John with like feathers and shit. So we try to like we try to like put on our hats and our little work costume. That way it feels still open and still real, but also like okay, we're moving from mother daughter into this new world.
when you guys do your writing process, you need to vlog that.
Oh my God, yeah. See, that's the thing. I feel like because also like that's a different demographic too than I'm pulling in like, mom age people, like that might work better. It's also like a niche thing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We've definitely talked about it before after a few drinks. We're like, we should have a podcast. And we're like, yes. And then we're like we tried like we'll have like a few glasses of wine or whatever, and like I'll try to record vocals, and then the next day I hear them back. I'm like, oh no, delete, delete, delete. So we'll see. We shall see. Hopefully soon.
When you guys are working together, do you ever have creative differences? Do you butt heads?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, everyone does, right? Like nothing that's like I hate you, you suck. But yeah, we definitely approach things very differently.
So how do you come to an agreement if you think you should do this for the song, but she thinks you should do
Yeah.
that? What do you do?
I'm such a bitch. Well, just no, I'm just kidding. But we just decide. We usually give it air. We usually are like, okay, let's go back to that specific part that we were having trouble with, and let's do something that we're on the same page about. Then we try to get back on the same page, right? And then respectfully, we'll try to work out the other. Maybe we'll give it a day of ears, and usually one of us is like, I was wrong. You're right. Change it. Or you know what? Nah, let's get rid of that part. We don't need it. We usually just naturally come to an agreement after giving it time. It's also like an ego thing because if you give someone a day to like be like, okay, maybe they are right. That's usually easier to admit than like in the moment be like, okay, fine, I'll give up. You want to be stubborn for like a day at least. I feel like you got to give yourself like a day to like be like, no, I'm right, and then you'll think about what's actually best for like the song and stuff. But it usually works out pretty well. I mean, I'm very proud of all the stuff we've done together, and it's been fun. We're trying to get back into writing. We've taken not a break, but it's just been we've both been so busy doing projects of our own. So it'll be nice when we get back into that rhythm that we used to have.
Before we wrap it up, is there anything you want to let people know that follow you and support you? Anything they should
Yeah.
know?
For anyone who doesn't follow me, I'm on at Arieliza Music on all socials. Got Instagram, TikTok. Don't you really use Snapchat? So I mean that's not really music related, but I post funny Snap stories occasionally. Yeah. You can also feel free to email me. All my stuff's on my Instagram. That's kind of like the main outlet I use. I got a few songs coming up in the next couple weeks, and so I haven't fully announced that yet, but I will be doing that on my socials very soon. So definitely check it out. Check out the music video if you want.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was nice to talk to you.